Hey everyone, it's a new iPower clip. For all the people who are just joining us on the channel and who don't know it yet, iPower is a lifestyle based on 3 principles. It's being open-minded, active thinking, and putting your vision into practice. And we have sort of a community social network actually running around this, and with 11,000 members now. And it's really cool. Check it out. URL is right here and in the sidebar. It's like there, right?
Yes,
there, sidebar is there. I have to disappoint you a little bit though. The crew isn't here, so it's just Dean and me. You know, shoot Dean.
That's your cue.
That's your cue.
Hey.
Yeah. Since back to me. You know, Ian isn't here to shoot either, so we gave the camera to the cat.
Ian shooting, so
yeah.
You know, our apologies for the horrendous camera work.
Yeah.
It's someone we picked off from the streets. You know, this is just like. It's Mark the Hobo shooting us today.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly go over all the changes we've done on the site. You have the chat feature, you have a download section with cool iPower wallpapers. You have lots of features that have been tweaked, and we have the video section, which now has all the iPower videos from the new iPower channel, which is a selection of the best iPower videos of the past, kind of remastered, so they look a bit better, and we cut out all the, you know, thumbnails and the wonderful intros that the previous ones had that we kind of used to game the ranking system on YouTube. Okay, this clip we wanted to talk about open-mindedness, because we don't really see open-mindedness as something that, you know, that you have to have limits of, because we don't see open-mindedness as being tolerant towards everything, or, you know, just accepting everything. That's not what open-mindedness is, at least not to me.
Being open-minded doesn't mean always being, you know, receiving of arguments of things that are blatantly against your own principles.
Doesn't mean you just have to accept things. I mean, open-mindedness is like a first step. So if someone, you know, challenges a view that you have or gives you a new idea that you might not like or something, open-mindedness is just a step of being willing to evaluate it, you know, allowing yourself to actively think about it and really then making a conclusion. So it's like the actual dismissal or approval of the idea happens after you were open-minded towards it.
Open-mindedness, in my opinion, is also about willing to change the way you perceive things. Your paradigm, so to speak, for lack of a less, you know, posh word. To give you a non-textbook example, I'll give you an example that I experienced myself last week. I was in Antwerp City with Ian. There's a point where I just went into this sandwich bar to get a sandwich. And there's a girl working there, and she's, you know, she has a very positive charisma. She looks like an interesting person. I thought to myself, you know, it would be cool to get her phone number.
That's what Dean does. He's, you know, he's like that in real life.
To clarify, I'm not a pickup artist. I don't usually do that. I don't usually just walk up to people and ask their phone number or something. But
yeah, you do.
I just came in there, I saw her, and I thought to myself, you know, that'd be cool. Figure just ask her phone number and get it. But, you know, the paradigm that I had of that situation, of that person, and of our society is that's impossible. You can't just walk up to a person, especially if they're working in a sandwich bar servicing 10 customers at a time. You can't just walk up to them, start a conversation, and get a phone number. So I bought my sandwich, I went out, but I thought about it, like, you know, what if my paradigm is wrong? What if the way I see this is wrong? What if it is possible? So I just went back in there, I walked up to her, you know, between the customers, and I started a conversation with her. Very short, very honest, and eventually, after a minute or two, I asked her phone number and she gave it to me. So I was completely surprised, because I was certain before that this would be impossible, and at that point my paradigm shifted completely. Next time, if I would ever see someone that I would think is interesting enough to start a conversation with or to ask a phone number of, I would just do it, because I know now that I can be completely wrong by thinking it would be unsuccessful.
The reason why we thought it was cool to mention this is because it's really important to really allow your paradigm to shift like that if you want to, you know, get that first principle of being open-minded, if you want to get that right, because without that, the two next principles don't really have that much impact anymore. If you look around you, if you look in anywhere in modern society, you don't find people very often who are actually going that far, who actually allow their paradigms to shift. And the ones you do find that do allow it usually end up, you know, being people who just, they have a lot of interesting stuff to say, but very little of it actually reflects in their actions. And that's why I think, you know, it was cool to mention this, because combined with the actual principles of high power, it's a very powerful tool to make that your mindset and to really allow massive paradigm shifts, and at the same time build on that and actually act upon it. Sorry that the crew wasn't here this time. We're working on all sorts of stuff right now, and we're kind of, you know, living far apart and stuff like that. So it's kind of hectic. We didn't talk about people on the chat, anything interesting.
We've been neglecting the chat room. Sorry guys, I mean usually we're on the chat room while we make videos.
It's Tanya's job normally, you know, Tanya's chatting and she, you know, reflects on it.
So I told the guys in the chat room we were shooting a video and they could give input, and all the while I'm just ignoring them. So I have no idea what they've been saying. Might have been really interesting.
Well, here's a good one. Comrade says that he likes cake.
Conrad likes cake.
We actually have something really cool coming up soon. I think we can mention it in the next clip. It's something, well, it's not like a huge thing, but it's really cool. Something that the community has actually been asking for regularly for some time now, and we're finally gonna be able to do that.
Porno.
It's, yeah.
I porno.
See you guys next Sunday with the next one, or maybe even sooner. Keep an eye on the channel, subscribe if you haven't already, and, you know, keep your eyes on the site ipower.ning.com.